Hello students, do you remember what we did in the last class? We are going to continue from that only, nutrition in animals. So if you remember, in last class we studied about ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and the last step is egestion. And these are, what are these? These are the steps of Holozoic nutrition. What is Holozoic nutrition? It is a mode of nutrition in which organisms, they take in food through these 5 steps. Okay, yesterday we did till here, digestion. So we are going to continue further. Okay, so what was ingestion? It was intake of food. Okay, and different organisms have different modes of taking in food. Then digestion. Digestion was breakdown of complex molecules or substances into simpler substances. And what did we name them? The simpler substances are called nutrients. What do we call them? Nutrients. Fine. So nutrients are the absorbable forms of the complex substances that are present in the food. Like you are eating chapati. What do you do to simplify it? Do you engulf the whole of the chapati or you break it into pieces? You break it into pieces. So the breakdown of molecules or these complex substances, there are various forms of carbohydrates, and these carbohydrates, they get converted into simplest forms of molecules called nutrients. For example, carbohydrate is converted into sugars. Okay, proteins, you know what are proteins? Body growing or body building food components. They become converted into amino acids. These are the simple forms. Same way, fat is converted into fatty acids. Now, these nutrients that we are talking right now about, they get converted from the complex molecules. Now, what will be the next step for these molecules, simple molecules? These are to be absorbed into the body. Now, how they will get absorbed in the body? You know that a red color fluid flows in our blood vessels. And what do we call it? Yes, what do we call it? Yes, right. You are thinking about blood. Blood. A red color pigment flowing in our blood vessels. So these nutrients, they are absorbed or sent into the blood. Okay. Now, after this has been sent into the blood, these nutrients, they get mixed up in the blood and they are sent to various places in the body wherever the requirement is there. So this digestion is followed by absorption. So what is this? Sending of nutrients into the blood. This phenomena is called absorption. Fine. After the food components or these molecules, nutrients, have been absorbed in the blood, what happens next? They are assimilated. Assimilation. The next step of Holozoic nutrition is assimilation. In assimilation, what happens? Whatever the molecules, they were absorbed in the blood. What will be done to them now? They will be used up by the body. And where they will be used up? Like in bodybuilding or whatever activity you do. So these nutrients are actually used for growth or for energy. Like what kind of energy? You think anything, then energy is used. You are picking a pen in your hand, then energy is used. You are scratching, that there also you are using energy. You are pushing somebody, you are playing, you are studying, everywhere energy is used. So these nutrients which were absorbed in the body are being used up. So basically assimilation is using up of the nutrients. So nutrients are being used for 2 purposes. What are they? Growth and for energy. Next, after this, do you think what happened? Did whole of the food that you ate was useful to you? No, it was not so. So, what was happening? Whatever the useful things were there, they were retained. Let us take an example. Your mother cooks food. Fine. When she is cooking vegetable, do you think that everything like onion, she has put whole of the onion? If she is taking like potato, she is taking whole of the potato, she is peeling it. Right, she is peeling both onion, potato, or say peas are there, she is taking out of the pod. And do you think that what are the peels etc. she is taking, putting in the vegetable? No. Why? Because they are discarded thing, they are waste. They are of no use to us. So same way, whatever you eat, whatever goes in our body is not useful to us. Some part is left waste. So where does the waste go? That waste has to be eliminated from our body. That has to be expelled from our body. Why? Because it will create some conditions which are not good for our health. So that waste has to be eliminated. So this phenomena or this step in Holozoic nutrition, in which elimination of food takes place, is called egestion. What do we call it? Egestion. Spell it. E-G-E-S-T-I-O-N. Egestion. Okay. So E for egestion and elimination. Elimination of waste is taking place. So I hope this is clear to you. Let us sum it up in a flow chart. Holozoic mode of nutrition. So Holozoic mode of nutrition is completed in 5 steps. And what are the 5 steps? Let us again repeat in a flowchart method. It is, first is ingestion, then digestion, then absorption, after that assimilation, and the final step is egestion. Okay. Now this flow chart you need to learn. Ingestion, digestion, absorption, followed by assimilation and then egestion. And these are all the steps which come in Holozoic nutrition. Now, we will study about this Holozoic mode of nutrition in amoeba. Okay, we are going to study in this chapter the nutrition in 3 types of organisms. One is man or human being. Okay, let us start from the simplest, amoeba. And second one we are going to talk about human beings. And the third one is cow. Okay, these three case studies we will do. So first of all, today we are going to discuss about amoeba. How the nutrition takes place in amoeba. Let me make a diagram. You know what is amoeba? Amoeba is a unicellular organism. Okay, it has a cell membrane and nucleus and some cytoplasm. This we show by dots. Okay, this is amoeba. Now, amoeba senses some food around it. How? Amoeba feels as if some food is around it. Let's say it is a food. Okay. Now what it did? As it sensed the food, can you see these false feet called pseudopodia? Pseudopodia. Pseudopodia are formed. This is food. This is nucleus, this is cell membrane, and inside it is cytoplasm. Okay, after this what will happen? These pseudopodia are going to be a bit deeper. It is going to encircle the food. Okay, food, and these are again pseudopodia, the food. Next step. This food is taken in nucleus, after this what happens? The food is totally inside the body of the or the cell of the amoeba. Now some enzymes, a new word, enzymes I would call here, right here, enzymes. These are the chemicals which are going to break down this food. Okay. Now once the food has been broken down, what will happen? The food has been broken down, so nutrients are being sent into the body of the organism, and the last one is assimilation, and the food, whatever was the waste, it comes to the periphery and it burst opens and then excrete out or egestion. So this is amoeba, this is ingestion, this is digestion, breakdown of food taking place with the help of enzymes, and here absorption plus assimilation, and this is egestion. So let us see again. The food is engulfed with the help of false feet called pseudopodia. The food is then broken down into simpler forms called nutrients in digestion. The digestion is taking place. Here, whatever the nutrients were there are being sent into the cytoplasm of the cell. As a result, the size of the cell grows. And finally what happens? This food vacuole, we call it, this food vacuole reaches to the periphery of the amoeba and it burst opens, and whatever is the waste is expelled out. So this is how nutrition in amoeba, let me write here, in amoeba takes place. So I hope it is clear to everyone what is the mode of nutrition in amoeba. So draw the diagrams. Homework for today is draw the flow chart of Holozoic nutrition. Draw the flow chart of Holozoic nutrition. Second question, draw diagrams with properly labeled, draw well labeled diagrams of nutrition in amoeba. Okay, draw well labeled diagrams of nutrition in amoeba.